Welcome to episode 522 of This Week in League. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jay.
And I'm Glenn. And we're all fucking on tonight. We are on.
Oh. Everyone's bringing their own shit to the table tonight. I'm a bit sick. Fucking Stepdad, he's got he has been kissed by the pangolin and has the legitimate fucking tested positive with the COVID. And Glenny's just
Glenny.
Glenny's just the big diesel's just come to terms with fucking losing Brooksy.
Chugga.
Toot, motherfuckers.
Yes, no, I officially have the vid, and I'm fucked off because I didn't get it when you got sympathy for it.
Yeah, no one gives a fuck now.
No one cares now.
No. But you know the fucking stupid thing? I've gone and had a look about what I need to do. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I can be walking past cunts in the supermarket right now.
And spitting in their mouth and shit.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, righto, Zion.
Fucking hell.
No, you're allowed. It's a law now. You got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually, you have to do it.
It's not like it was back in like
it's
fucking
not just allowed,
June of
you have to do it. It's forced.
Yeah.
It's compulsory.
June of 2020, you had to basically fucking say goodbye to your wife and kids and fucking move out.
It's like going to the fucking gulag.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yes. No, but it's touch wood because I'm not Bryce Cartwright. I have all of these wonderful scientifically provided antibodies, so I'm okay.
I will say though, and whilst I am sympathetic to the fact that you do have the terrible disease that is COVID, you still look like shit. I don't know that it's got anything to do with COVID. Maybe that's just how you normally look.
Well,
he shaved his beard off. So, I mean, that's one of the reasons he looks extra shit. But then
What
he's
is
wearing
that?
He's wearing the shirt that looks like the 3D fucking infogram of COVID that they put on the news and stuff. Running while the news stories are going.
yes. No, the beard went because if we're masking up, around the kids and all that stuff during the day, then.
So you just chopped it today, did you?
Like literally half an hour ago.
Oh, I thought.
wow.
Oh, I thought you must have thought tonight was fancy dress, and you came as a maxi pad.
Oh, your maxi pad.
Do you think
that's a sickly looking maxi?
Menstrual
Yeah,
discharge
that's what I mean.
Do you think menstrual discharge is pink because it happens to girls, Glenn?
Oh, like anything to do with you, it's just watered down, mate. It's all good.
Fucking hell.
It's just his period is also masquerading as a gender reveal.
Delightful.
All right.
Welcome to This Week in League with your host Ben Shapiro.
So what's
Glenn
is
Shapiro.
the beard going to come back? Because it needs to. Fuck. Really, you've had a hard life.
Where's yours too, fucker?
Huh?
Glenn, that's
You usually rock out a winter beard up there on the mountain.
No, it's too grey. I don't. Jay's doesn't go grey. Just fucking. He looks delightful with it, and like that without it.
no,
You know what I'm saying?
It'll come back. That's the thing with beards. Unless you have to attach them with an elastic band, they tend to come back. There's a reason the Dollar Shave Club's so fucking popular.
Marketing, obviously.
Yeah.
But also there's a need. Right. All right, let's get into things. What are we going to talk about?
Rugby league.
Let's very
Really?
quickly.
No. I fucking refuse.
Okay.
C-Grade
C-Grade Touch time.
No, there's
What's going on?
We're just no C-Grade Touch.
Why?
Well, it's holiday time and school holidays, and yes, so no games for a couple more weeks yet.
Okay.
Training tonight, and as is quite often the case at these times with B and C grade, the big diesel was the only C grader to roll in, and a couple of people from B grade, and the rest were A grade. So to say that I looked like a fish out of water running plays with the A grade boys would be a reasonable understatement.
So are these extras or optional or what?
Oh,
Or is this literally like training?
yeah, like it's training. Like Wednesday night is training night, but it's a little bit casual when it's holiday time and there's no games. And a few of the boys last night, there was a call out for Jackson's A-grade team to have a run against one of the 16 rep teams because they've got a state cup coming up. And a few of the A-grade boys and a few B-grade and a few C-grades sort of come together and played, and I did not because I didn't want to embarrass myself, if I'm honest. Plus, I couldn't. I left straight from work, so picked Jackson up and hooked it. But so a few of them played last night, so they didn't train tonight.
Right.
It's quite trying to run the plays and remember the position where you have to be and where you have to get to, and then as soon as you make a mistake, you hear "oh, dickhead" from the lineup, which is always great. My son is a very supportive human being.
Look, I am shocked and stunned to hear that about the lack of professionalism circulating around the C-Grade Touch in Toowoomba. Stunned, I tell
You're
you.
stunned by the lack of professionalism.
I'm disgusted.
I will quote.
What kind of fucking Mickey Mouse fucking organisation is this?
I will quote a few D-grade boys were like, I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing playing D-grade? I should be in D-grade, you blokes should be playing C. And they're like, yeah, but those fucking C-graders, they want to train and shit. Fuck that. So, good times.
You're a true professional, Glennie.
I try to be.
Have you dropped the "Don't you know who I am"?
No need, mate. Everyone knows who I am.
Smell the diesel.
I'm not sure that's appropriate.
And so you would have to be, though. I mean, like, you maybe not privy to, like, the process and the vote tally and everything like that, but you would have to be up. You just given the fact that you're the only C-grade guy turned up to training when they're kind of like extras or whatever, and the professionalism you're
Do
just.
you reckon I'm making a run for clubman?
I reckon you are. You're probably at this stage. You're probably sitting around the top 3 of the N-word Brown Clubman of the Year award standings.
Or do they call you the N-word of the year?
Fucking Jesus Christ! Wow. Oh, that's a very uncomfortable award to receive, if I'm honest. It's presented by your black kid.
Yeah.
You know, the Dolby Club give you the Barry of the year because, Barry Smith was a great clubman. And...
Oh, that's hilarious.
Let's hope they're live streaming that one come the end of the year.
No, they will not be.
He's in my butt.
Nothing to say, Glenn. All right, now, in the interest of getting Stepdad, all tucked into his fucking his bed, we're going to blast through these things.
Hang on a sec. Don't fucking palm it. Look, I'm the last person to jump to this cunt's defence, but don't palm it off onto him.
But Glennie, I'm sick.
The cunt's fucking got
I'm
COVID.
fucking
What are you?
tired,
Shall I quote you before we hit record, Nathan?
I know the diesel. I know the big diesel is the big diesel, and as we as in Bullet Train, I mean, like, diesels are the cunts of the rail yard. But I mean, come on. What happened to you? You used to be a nice guy before you turned into the big diesel. This big diesel persona has fucking ruined your life. I'll tell you. You alienate everyone down the fucking train yard. Fat Control's going to have a word. Or maybe that's what this is right now.
Maybe
the Fat Controller having a word to you.
Maybe I'll fucking run the Fat Controller over. Fuck that guy.
You're the first train to have an intervention.
Right.
Let's go. Reviews.
You don't want to be reassigned to the fucking the run out through the Polish countryside.
Are you still
mate.
going? Fucking hell.
Look at you muttering. My God, Glennie. What happened to you?
One of the boys at training rocked up in one of those bloke retro fucking brown and red jerseys tonight. I was like, yeah? You like podcasts, eh?
You give him one?
Huh?
You give him one?
Nah.
Right.
I was like, yeah, I know a thing or two about fucking podcasts. Big Diesel. Have a listen.
Yeah, no, you didn't.
No, I didn't say that.
Right. Let's go round 17. It was a Friday night. The Warriors 48 defeated the Dragons 18. Fuck me, this one feels like 3 months ago.
I know, eh?
I feel like the narratives coming out into this game have played through like there's been 3 arcs since this game. But anyway, the Warriors tries to DWZ a fucking 4-try haul. What do we call that?
It's a double.
When, you got a try, you got a double, you got a hat trick.
Well, it's a double hat trick. Like in cricket,
It is a double. It is
4
a double
wickets in a
hat
row is a double hat trick.
Right. No. What?
Yeah, 4 in a row is a double hat trick. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4.
I feel like they're double counting there along the way somewhere.
Well, it's not 6 in a row.
Well, I mean, 6 in a row, like it would be a double hat trick,
that would be the logical fucking thing. But hey, who am I to argue with you about cricket?
I know fuck all about cricket.
He's fucking channeling. He's channeling cricket because he's not himself. He's got the fucking.
He's not himself, and this is my favourite version of him when he's not himself.
You are probably more knowledgeable about the menstrual cycle than I am about fucking cricket. So,
and we've already established your credentials in that field.
Like I don't know why it's not called the Glenstral cycle.
Well, it should be. It would explain a lot.
I need to write that down.
It would explain a lot.
The Glenstral cycle. All right. Right. Just so that one doesn't get lost in the fucking fog. An hour or so from now. Where were we? Yeah. Okay. So with the
lots of tries to DWZ.
DWZ with a double hat trick.
With the step trick, and we've got Johnson, Montoya, Siren, Ford, and Berry also with tries. Johnson 6 of 9 conversions, and the Dragons tries to Sloan, Musgrove, and murderous Frank Molo, 3 conversions from as many attempts to Zach Lomax.
Look, the Warriors are rolling on, and there's no better time to come up against the worst team in the comp that just so happen to have the worst fan base and front office in the competition to build momentum heading into the back end of the season as the Warriors look to make the finals. I thought the usual suspects, DWZ, as we said the other week, is really starting to, fulfill all that potential and found his rightful home on the wing, not at fullback, which he probably could have had that realisation several years earlier in his career, as Jay's pointed out previous. But Johnson again, Fanua Blake, Walker's playing his role. They're just nailing what their team is about and what their strengths are, and tailoring their game plan around that, which is beautiful coaching more than anything. For the Dragons, I think this Hunt saga has probably condemned the Dragons to the spoon, just as I predicted, and it's no less than they or any of their fans deserve.
It is an interesting one, where you half, and the person that has single-handedly gotten you any positive thing that's happened for your club for the last 3 years comes out and says, I want to leave immediately. Hang on. I want to leave so badly that I will put up my own cash to get the fuck out of here.
Mm.
And then when the club says no, says, okay, I appreciate the frank and open discussion the club has had with me, and I am now committed to playing my best football, whatever the fuck he said, for the remainder of the... Like, how the fuck do you... Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird decision from the club. It's a weird fucking decision.
I expect Ben Hunt to be caught on camera hanging out of a taxi cab with a fucking Brisbane jersey.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a couple of things in the way of that though that stop that happening. For starters, I mean, that's got to happen after they win the title, and I mean they're about to slide out of the finals again. So yeah, there's a little work to be done first.
There's some. Look, I don't want to say warning signs, but for the Warriors here, they put on a fucking massive score. But I think that was more to do with their opposition than it was with them. Because if you look through, they completed about the same amount of sets each. Right? So it was 26 sets to the Dragons to 29 for the Warriors. So the Warriors completed at 72%, which against any top 8 team is a recipe for disaster. The play the ball speed was relatively slow. They didn't force any dropouts. The actual tackle effectiveness was about the same. So for the Warriors, it's not like they were a super slick operation that went out and put together a beautiful game of football. They just put a shitload of points on because their opponents are in disarray. I don't want to take anything away from the Warriors. Their improvement this year is still fucking phenomenal. At this stage, they're close, probably not quite to what the Cowboys did last season in terms of overachieving. But there's still some cracks there that they need to patch up pretty quickly before they play anyone decent.
Yeah, and side with top 8 or top 4 aspirations did what they had to do to a club that invited them to do it.
Yep.
Fair.
As it should, and if you're serious about being, that's a club you want to be, then there's the sorts of games you need to chuck those points on.
Yep, 100%. Do we have
Go
socials for
socials.
that? Oh, who knows what fucking socials we've got this week? Who fucking knows? Maybe Glenn is right from Devonhead.
Damn right.
Fuck the Dragons, fuck Ben Hunt, and fuck 2/3 of the whole playing squad.
No, all of them.
Kurt.
He's singing from the same book as you now, so surely that ends the beef, Glenny.
Sorry, what was that? You cut out.
He's singing from the same fucking hymn book as you are now.
Yeah, I have to get a new hymn book.
Yeah.
Kurt, what's funny about St George is that their identity from the club's inception was based on the tale of St George and the Dragon. It made sense when they called themselves the Dragon Slayers, which is an epic name, but when they decided to drop Dragon Slayers to just the Dragons, it now conveys a club beating themselves from within and their proud emblem, illustrating the Newcastle Knights have them by the cuckold. That, my friends, is what you call destined mediocrity. Anyways, fuck the Dragons and their Greg spawns.
Yes.
Joey, I don't even think Flanagan's injections could fix this club. Gus, when a team comes to your house or one of them and puts 48 past you by playing basic rugby league, you know you've got problems. The Warriors played well, of course, but didn't need any fancy skills to break the line. Flanny has his work cut out as this team seems to be a basket case on and off the pitch. Levius, well and truly the dead V now. AFB is the unsung hero for the Warriors at the moment. SJ and DWZ carving the comp to shreds, but that silky big fella is showing unreal fitness and looks like he is putting in 100 every single game. In Webby, we trust. There you go.
All right, moving on. The Parramatta Eels 48 defeated the Dolphins 20 at Sunny Coast Stadium. The Eels, their tries came through Davey, Hopgood, Simonson, Russell, a double to Penasini, double to Gutherson. The Dolphins tries to Braden McGrady on debut, a double to the Hammer, and Val Meninga with their other try. Isako 2 of 4 conversions. Sorry, Moses 8 of 8 as well.
Players coming back for the Dolphins, they're, if not at full strength, getting very close, if short a little bit of match fitness for O'Sullivan, but heavy losses are starting to take their toll, and the challenges on the playing group and also Bennett to turn it around and re-strengthen and regain that, never say die and stay in game sort of attitude that they've had for the vast majority of the season up until these.
I almost feel like he did
handful.
that. I almost feel like he did that at halftime in this game. Like halftime of this game,
it did look like it was going to be a whole lot worse. Yeah.
Yeah, like halftime is the turning point of the recent run, because remember they got caned in the last 20 minutes by the Warriors a couple of weeks ago. Then they got fucking slaughtered for 80 minutes by Manly, and then the first half of this game, it was like 42-4 or something at halftime, wasn't it? Like it was legitimately like 70 burger, if they were fucking being serious.
Yeah. But
they actually fought back in the second half and, clawed the lead back, considerably.
I was pretty impressed with McGrady making his debut at 26 and having a great moment. And when the Dolphins, and whenever there's talk of expansion, there's a lot of people that come out and question whether there's enough talent to go around and how, whether there's depth to fill extra clubs. And I just feel like as expansion comes, and there's obviously more talk about several other clubs coming in the not so distant future, but stories like that where he was mid-20s, been overlooked, and probably never gets a shot. But then he's, an expansion club gives him a run, and this could be, the start of a fucking solid career for a guy.
Yeah, he's good enough to do it.
Yeah,
yep.
But without an expansion club looking for those additional players or whatever, those guys don't get a look in. So it's actually a good story. I was happy to see.
Can I throw a counterpoint to that, Glenn?
Sure.
I don't like you're right. Without expansion clubs, those guys don't get it. I think that's yet another side effect of the absolute fucking bullshit player-centric contract scenario in the NRL at the moment, meaning those guys don't get a look. If you could drop players and not have it impact your salary cap or your club, then guys like that would get look-ins all the fucking time.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Because if you've got guys that are coming up, regardless of how old they are, that are hungry, that are training well, then coaches will give them opportunities if it doesn't impact the club negatively. So, anyway. Continue.
That's it for me.
That's it.
Nice.
Do socials.
We have no socials on that because I'm fucking in a haze. So
that's how we're going to be.
I assume Dolphins fans are disappointed yet positive because they've still overachieved this season, and I assume Parramatta fans are in denial that their absolute fucking cunt club will make another grand final only just to be embarrassed by Penrith again.
The only social I remember from this game was me when I said that the Eels won the trade in reference to Timmy McIntyre, who jumped off the Eels onto the Dolphins.
Oh, lovely.
The Panthers 20.
There's a sentiment knocking you behind.
Yeah, the Panthers 20 defeat the Knights 12 out at Penrith. The Panthers tries to Edwards and Salmon, and a double to Tyrone Peachey.
Penrith legend. Tyrone.
Yeah. How quickly the song changes.
Hang on a sec. Don't you fucking dare. Don't you dare talk about songs changing, you motherfucker.
I have a feeling that you're going to be fucking very unhappy and incorrect in about 20 minutes' time, Glennie, but okay. The Knights 12 tries to Ponga and Hastings with the Hastings 2 of 2 conversions.
Take it away, Stepdad.
Talk
Knights
about
suck dick.
Talk about battlers. Talk about fucking... The whole fucking game review here can be summed up by just playing that clip of Christian Welsh.
Christian Welsh, he reviewed the game better than anyone.
The Storm. Did you see that, Glennie?
You see that, Glennie? You got a blank face. You didn't see it.
Nah.
Okay.
Oh, well, the Storm game happens. The Storm game is the next game that happens, right? And in that period when the press conference hasn't started yet, and Bellamy and Welch are sitting at the table, the mics are hot. They don't know that. They're just chatting amongst themselves. I think Welch must have looked at his phone or seen the result from the Panthers game before, and he goes to Bellamy. He turns to Bellamy and he's like, What about how about the Knights? What about the Knights? Penrith didn't have anybody.
How did they lose that?
That's brilliant.
And it was hot mic, so it just gets put on, clipped and around socials and everything, and
so,
that's funny.
Literally. Look, for those guys in the club who aren't the superstars, however, are just as important from a contribution standpoint to the season, that's a massive fucking game for them. Just as all the ones with replacements were last year, but for them to actually put together a solid 80-minute performance, and they had a great performance against the Cows with down troops the week before. But for guys like Edwards, again, I think it's important for him to start to develop more leadership skills. And you guys are right; he's not going to need them all the time with the guys that he's got on the field in front of him.
He was everywhere in this game, though.
Oh, mate, again, he's one, you talk about a player that just does the fundamentals for his position almost flawlessly, and he's the guy. And also within the confines of that team. He does exactly what's needed for that side. What's not needed at fullback is someone who hogs the ball and kills the offense every time the ball goes to him, and then the one time he does passes it over the sideline. But for the Knights,
Mamma mia.
You fucking imbecile. Oh, wow. Mamma mia.
If nothing else, Glenny, your entertainment is paramount this evening.
These are those opportunities they have to take. If they're looking to really go up that tier from the side that's going to be floating around the bottom of the 8, will they make it? Won't they make it? It might depend on other clubs. When you come up against one of the top teams and they're down on players, that's your opportunity, and you need to go out there and be absolutely ruthless and play the top quality football that your team's capable of. And there was just no point in that game where they looked like they were in for the battle.
It was like illegitimate sadness.
Yeah, that's it.
Is the title of the game.
That's it. So
they're very, very, very fucking disappointing because they have been benefiting by having a full side through Origin.
Well,
they've benefited fucking enormously.
How's this, right? Penrith completed again a set of fucking ragtag ring-in plumbers.
Fuck
completed
off,
at the Baby Panthers completed at 90%.
The Baby Panthers with fucking 32-year-old Tyrone Peachy. The fuck out of here, cunt.
Well, he's young in terms of games played for the last couple of seasons.
Oh, fuck me, dude.
He's played enough. He just hasn't played them well.
That's it. So all up, he's only played 6 good games. You take every good thing he's ever done, it's 6 solid 80 minutes. But they completed it at 90%. Newcastle was at 62. So it worked out that Penrith had close to double the amount of sets with a football.
Mm.
That's absolutely fucking woeful. Absolutely fucking woeful. And they were pounded absolutely everywhere on the stat sheet. So, again, I don't get Newcastle. Do they love their coach? Do they hate their coach? Is he great?
Apparently
Is he ineffective?
Apparently he's next.
Well, who's in front of him?
Well, I don't know, but probably Holbrook, but we'll get to that.
Well, he's officially gone.
That's what I mean. So so that's what I mean. He's next up then.
Yeah, so there's no one in front of him. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, so because you had obviously Hook was always going to be the first one.
Yep.
Unless they pulled something out of their asses.
That's it.
Yeah, Holbrook a bit surprising, but we'll get to it, and then AOB's next.
59 missed tackles.
Yeah, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah, there you go. Tells you everything you need to know.
Absolute diabolical.
Couldn't win a fucking C-Grade Touch grade.
Tell ya, do you want to know something equally as fucking shocking?
Let me guess. No socials? Let's go.
Penrith missed 45.
What the fuck?
Well...
But there's that scramble.
I guess it was one of those games.
Yeah, that's it.
Which is surprising the scoreline was so, normal.
Yeah.
Given that it was one of those games.
Richie, a lot of very high teens and 20s on those Panthers jerseys for the game, if not the scoreboard to feel so dominant. Surely we get more than 2 points for winning with reserves. Graham,
fuck off.
The Sonny Luke experiment is over. Mitch fucking Kenny is outplaying him every week. The drop-off when Sonny got on was embarrassing.
Jesus.
Fucking hell.
Look, I swear, these
what do they
Panthers
call
fans...
it? Mitch Kenny FC or some fucking thing?
Yeah,
these fucking people out in Penrith way that started watching rugby league in fucking 2020, they come up with some special shit. They really do.
I would like to see Sonny have some more game time starting.
Needed longer apprenticeship on the Appy.
But I would... Here's the thing, and Shunter's the one that keeps reminding me of this. Sonny's fucking old as shit. He's not a young kid coming up.
He's Matt Moylan.
He's fucking Sonny Moylan. But
he's on your tier. He's on your Tyrone Peachy fucking tier.
But I would
young Tyrone Peachy.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him have some more time with the actual full squad. I'm not sure a game where fucking half the people are just actual members of the crowd that had jerseys on that they brought onto the field to play against the Knights. Is an accurate representation of him.
He's had half a season though, right?
Panthers play the basics with energy and little to no errors and easily take the victory. Nice to see Peachy play well. He may even get a good word from our Panther supporting host. He got fucking more than one. He got lots. I'd like to know.
Did he though? Did he? You said he was old and hadn't played many games, and you combined all thing good parts into a game, and it equaled 6 games.
Yeah.
So I think you can do better than that.
So I admitted he had good parts. Fucking hell.
It's as positive as he gets.
I'd like to see what the Chooks see in Dom Young as well. He served up another shocker. I'm not sure he's incredibly motivated to play his best football at the moment. Don Young.
I feel like they see a winger that's 6'5" and can run like the fucking wind. I suspect that's what they see in him.
Yeah. Daniel, the presser pissed me off more than the game. Fucking hell, AOB blowing smoke up the arse of a reserve grade team being too classy for us. Ponga trying to keep from laughing the whole time. They can't be serious. Yeah, did you see Ponga in the presser?
I did not see the presser, no.
It's just this fucking shit-eating smirky attitude that he has. Where he's like, I'm fucking too good for this. Like, yeah, anyway, fuck him.
I don't usually watch pressers, usually, other than like, my own.
No.
Really.
Speaking of, let's go.
Yes, speaking of, Purple Cheats 24 defeated the mighty Manly Seabs Eagles 6 down at the Korean Housewife in Melbourne. Storm tries to Hughes, Pezzett, Nelson, and double to Xavier Coates. Meany 2 conversions, and Manly tried Hamoli, goal to Ruben. This one I was kind of happy with the first half, the way they lack of combinations and everything, and the way they shuffled their players around. But ultimately, that's what got them in the end. They had a second game winger, and eventually, guys like Jerome Hughes figured him out and sort of dragged him out of position and got him with kicks, which one of them he should have just gobbled up. He kind of rushed it a little bit, and so I'm not going to kill him too hard. But otherwise, the effort was like it was great in the first half, and it was just really Schuster. Fucking which is presumably going to be one of his final games in 5/8, where he missed 2 tackles that would led directly to tries, and that was the difference in the game essentially. Up until those, there was one just before halftime, one after halftime. It turned a lead into being down by about 10, and at that point the Storm just did what they did and just controlled the field position. Good long kicking game, and went on with it from there. I'll tell you, I love Garrick at fullback. One thing that the attack does slow down a bit, and he does, when he has to do all the fullback stuff, he does get a bit gassed and he's not as good in attack. But fucking his defense, like his cover defense and shit, is so physical. And he could teach fucking most of them, like especially he could teach Tommy something about that. Unfortunately, old fucking Ray Vega, he got found out a little bit by the end, by the end of the game, just turning and chasing and that sort of thing with the kicks. But in the first half, he had fucking he had who was it? Olam and fucking who else was on that side? I think it was Coates. The amount of times that the ball went from like Hughes out to the left, and they just didn't catch it, and it went over the sideline or it went behind him or whatever, because they were watching him come up. He's a player, if he can get other parts of his game up to the standard, he's got that kind of that Matai fucking thing about him where players start looking at him rather than the ball when it's coming out their way, and they start shitting themselves a bit because they don't want to get the contact. But it's disappointing with the performance of a couple of players inside, and really it was just these key moments, like 2 or 3 key moments that turned into tries that just fucking knocked what was otherwise a decent effort into the loss. But it's always fucking hard without Tommy, and first week's going to be an adjustment. But we move on. Finally, troops are coming back after a number of injuries, and now we can finally start to see what they can fucking do.
Munster and Hughes, the most dangerous halves pairing in the game at the moment.
Well, Munster wasn't in this game.
No,
Hughes controlled a bit, yeah.
But when they're together,
I don't know, because there's games where they've been together and they've done fucking nothing. You know what I mean?
But
I think when they're on top of their top of their game, sure.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just trying to think about the other halves combinations. Probably, but then you look at the Broncos. Their halves combination's fucking great.
Who?
Fucking Menu Log and Ezra Mem.
Yeah, okay.
No?
Oh. No, like in the game. Reynolds isn't in the game. He's injured all the time.
Oh, okay.
Where we are.
Munster was hungover and didn't play because he was a fever.
Anthony.
Hungoveritis.
I hate Josh.
Because he was last man standing on Thursday morning.
Anthony, I hate Josh Schuster. That's it. That's the comment. Super Grover. Glorious. Big Sexy on the tear, cleaned up like a Barley Bendler, skittling wee folk and leaving them rocking with PTSD. Bennett. Ruben reminding everyone that he is the best fullback in the club. Kurt. Manly just doesn't get Manly v Melbourne. Ooh, that one.
They literally fucking beat them in the Battle of Brookvale anniversary game about fucking 6 weeks ago. The short memory that these fucking people have chroming down there.
Don't bite. Jordan.
I tell you, that game though, I was getting text messages all game from fucking Grover. Not MS, not Facebook Messenger, SMSs with green fucking backgrounds behind the messages because he's a fucking Android pleb. Sending me these texts because he couldn't post on the TWiL Facebook group.
Because he's been zucked.
And like he got zucked, and admittedly he got zucked for shit. I mean, it was very heavy-handed by Zuck, and would I consider it to be valid? Like it wasn't like it was literally that Stephen Crowder, sitting change my mind. That got flagged by Zuck automatically for being like hate speech or something, which is pretty fucking heavy-handed. But he's sending me all these text messages. I fucking administer a Facebook page that's got this many people and I've never fucking seen this happen before. And so I was like, look, I can't be going down to the fucking desktop to look this up for you. So anyway, the next morning I did, and sure enough, he's been placed by Zuck on moderation on post approval until July 22, and we can't fucking turn it off. We actually can't turn it off.
Look, if you're gonna post pictures that the fucking Make America Great Again crowd use, then it's going to fucking happen. Anyway, Jordan.
MAGA Grover.
Good on Manly for being an inclusive club and playing a blind man at 6. I mean, surely he has to be blind. He never looks where he passes. Phil. They started Aaron Woods. If anything, they got off lightly. Chris. Paseka
can I hang on a minute? I'm going to jump. I mean, far be it from me to be a guy that defends fucking Woodsy, but
I'm just going to defend Woodsy.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I think there's a lot of shit that comes at Woodsy based on stuff he did in his St. George Illawarra Dragons days. Because I mean, that guy, he fucking made some tackle busts. He threw some offloads. Didn't miss a tackle. I mean, he got through his work and he didn't fuck up and make any errors or miss tackles. So, like,
yeah, can't miss a tackle if you're not there. Chris, Paseka gets shat on by a seagull 20 minutes to go in the scrum feed. Never wipes it off. That just about sums up their night. There you go.
Well, it's supposed to be lucky, isn't it?
That's the game.
This is supposed to be good luck with that. You get shut on by a seagull. It's funny that person. I didn't see that comment, but I remember watching the game and I was thinking, did he get? Because it looked like he'd been shut on by a seagull. But it's fucking crazy down there. I mean, like that game's going on and it's like 9:30 at night or something by this stage, and it's 7:30 at night, and it's just there's fucking seagulls everywhere. They need to do something about those cunts. It impacts. I don't know what it's like at the game, but I mean, on TV when they got the spider cams, and it's like they're constantly between the camera and the fucking game you're watching. Titans 18 defeated the Broncos 12 at Suncorp Stadium. Little brother strikes again. David Fafita, Brian Kelly, and Khan Pereira with tries. Tanner Boyd 2 conversions and a penalty goal. The Broncos 12 tries to Flegler and Mam with Reynolds 2 of 2 conversions.
Solid derby, this one. This
is a fucking crazy game.
Yeah. I was
probably 3 disallowed tries each way, yeah.
I thought the Titans had a game plan to attack the Broncos on the edges relentlessly, primarily through Fafita, and it paid dividends over the course of the game. I think that guys like Foran, his ability to ball play and the speed at which he challenges the line sort of gives the defence, forces him into a decision because he is part of the play as well, rather than shoveling the ball to Fafita and just making him crash into the line.
Use physicality or whatever to get through, yeah.
So, all in all, I think that the Titans, having just sacked their coach, which I'm sure we'll get to, but I think part of the reason why is they've got those pieces, and those pieces were fairly evident in this game. The speed of their outside backs, Khan Pereira in particular, he fucking ran around Cobbo like Cobbo was standing still.
Yeah,
it was really impressive, and obviously Fafita's always that guy that people talk about never realising his full potential, and just fits and starts for him and moments here and there, but never a consistent
He's been good this
performance.
season.
Yeah, I think probably this has been a more consistent season, but he has the ability to be a different style, but a Taumalolo type.
I feel he's been
devastating.
more involved this season.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's if he's gone looking more for it, or whether it's a result of Foran being there.
But Foran's been injured a lot too,
has.
so I wouldn't put it down just to him
Yeah.
unless they're game plan. Because I don't think they. Foran brings us a particular set of skills to the way he plays the game, which is why he's injured. I guess because he does put it all on the line and
he
digs
does.
deep before he passes it.
Yeah.
And takes that contact. But the thing about the Titans is they actually, because they've always been able to attack this season. But the thing is their defense has been terrible. But this time, it wasn't just that their defense was better, but also they didn't drop their head when they had a bunch of shit go against against them as well. Because you had that situation there where there was the try from Reece Walsh got disallowed. And the Titans went straight down. The next set, they went straight down, and there was a kick, and there was a contest with I can't remember who it was, like Sammy and Oates or something. And Sammy's batted it backwards. Yeah. But then Oates' hand, and then it's come off Oates and then gone towards the dead ball line, and then someone's come through and scored the try. And as they're stepping through it with the video referee, she actually got it exactly right. She's saying like Sammy batted it back, and then it's come forward off. That then should have been, play on for a try, but they didn't get it. And in the very next set after that, or within two sets after that, the Broncos go down the other end, and that's when Mam scores that try. When you could clearly see that Brian Kelly had his fingers under the ball, and there's no way he fucking grounded that ball. It was you could see the angle, and you could see that Kelly literally slides his fingers around under the point of the ball before it hits the ground. Yep. They got, they got lucky, and then they got fucked, and then they got fucked again because that try was given, but they didn't drop their heads.
Yeah, agree.
And it actually kind of fired them up a little bit as well. And there was still, I think there was a couple of disallowed tries still each way after that, but they managed to get away with the win. To start the Broncos slide, as tradition dictates.
Noughts. Watching Walsh have a tantrum at everything that didn't go his way, hook it into my veins. Rory, if Walsh doesn't play, the Broncos win. He was a dead set liability today, making errors and pissing and moaning all game.
He was super stroppy.
Yeah.
The whole game.
Kevin. People complain about the refs, but that was the worst game the Broncos have played all year. Cobbo obviously wasn't better, and we're stacked on wingers. Don't know why we played him. Walsh and Reno were playing hero ball all game. Billy Walters died after 20 minutes. Their attack has been rather shocking since Pace was dropped. Coincidence? Don't know. Sky.
Billy Walters.
Is Walsh the new Hodges? Whinging, arrogant, and an absolute sook. Fucking infuriating.
Oof.
Scott.
Was Hodges that much of a sook though? I saw that comment and I was thinking,
he was a fucking pest.
He was a sook.
Yeah, but was he? He wasn't like this. He wasn't like that though, was he?
No. Well,
this is more like the sort of shit that Gutho and Moses carry on with.
Yeah, true. Scott. Jimmy is Himmy. Didn't expect that to happen, but hell yeah. Mo is having an underrated season. Absolutely balls to the wall defense from him week in and week out. Maybe Jimmy will inspire the boys to a second half run, which would be hilarious given the coaching drama that went on in the last few days. Josh, something, the loss we needed to have. We'll see over the next few weeks after Origin wraps up if this is a blip or the start of the decline. Hoping Reynolds doesn't get the Origin call up, or else I'd expect he'd get biscuited into oblivion along with our finals chances. Matthew, holding the Broncos to 12 is a type of defensive effort Holbrook has been searching for. I'm sure this will help secure his... Oh, wait. There you go. Levius. Walsh has not only taken Ponga's Queensland jersey, but also taken the spot where he was resting his balls in Fox Sports' throats. Jesus Christ, the amount of reach trying to talk him up in clearly a horrible game was comical. His career will end up the same as Ponga's, just in a shittier jersey. Wow. Wow. Andrew. Well-deserved spraying scenes in the sheds from Kevy. Not sure how much they'll take in from it. Did he love how the trainer was hiding behind the esky from it with a lid up, so he didn't get showered? P.S. Thanks for the Are You OK check-up the other week. But yes, the chin is up, and I'm on top of the world. That's good. We're glad you're not angry at women anymore. Come to Glennie for some advice if you And Jared, the only thing better than the Titans winning was watching my turncoat son's heart break when Coates' try was called back. That's fucking phenomenal. We're glad you enjoyed it. There you go.
Right. The Cowboys 31 defeat the Rabbitohs 6 at Accor Stadium. The Cowboys tries to Taulagi, Finefuiaki, Dearden, and a double to Val Holmes. Holmes also with 5 conversions from 6 attempts. Drinkwater with the field goal, and the Rabbitohs, their 6 try to Lachlan Ilias, a conversion to Blake Taffy.
Yeah, a few more concerns for the Rabbitohs. They're going to have to taper for the back end of the season. The wheels are legitimately starting to wobble after they've looked.
Well, I mean, they're pretty fucking wobbly. I mean, it's like heavy loss after heavy loss, and like the one that wasn't heavy loss was the fucking Dragons. I'm just
and they scored fucking 20 points in 3 minutes at the back end of that game.
Yeah.
I'm astounded. I know they've had injury concerns, Mitchell in particular, but we talk about team systems. They're a team that gets by on obviously talent, which is great, but the systems just aren't there clearly when they
occasionally anger, I guess.
Sorry. It's like
they get by talent, and then sometimes deep into a game when there's 10 minutes to go, it's anger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just get they just fire something fires Walker up or Latrell up, and then they just all of a sudden stick them on their back and force shit to happen.
But when it doesn't, they get done 31-6.
Yeah.
In contrast, the Cowboys are starting to put a bit of a run together themselves, and it starts with those edge forwards and Drinkwater with that time and space that allows is putting himself among some of the elite fullbacks in the competition. His ability to be around the ball and be in the right position to take advantage of even the smallest of opportunities is really impressive. His game has developed quite nicely. He's had moments with suspension and stuff like that as well, but overall I think he's putting together a really nice season, and his game is going from strength to strength. So he's a massive cog in what the Cowboys are doing, and I think Val Holmes as well his form is some amongst the best of his career, off the back of Origin as well. So Cowboys starting to turn it around and make a run.
Yeah,
not a moment too soon.
I agree. Val's having a fucking phenomenal season, and Drinkwater's energy that he plays with, you can see is infectious for the rest of the side. I'd fucking love to see, because to me, Cody Walker is potentially the most. He's the most athletically gifted half we have in the competition. Like, think about the amount of times where you've seen Cody Walker make a play where he's running down a sideline and he's being tackled, but in midair he can contort his body and get a pass away or kick the ball through players when the contact's been made and he should be knocking on for all money. But he needs someone to get his fucking head right. He needs the Cody Walker under Wayne Bennett, I think, was lightning in a bottle. Wayne had somehow managed to temper him, and he only had one or two of those brain explosion games.
Yeah.
Either side of Origin, whereas now they're probably becoming the rule rather than the exception.
Yeah.
So someone needs to get his fucking head right.
I think the more they're like this, with the results like this, the more you'll be like that too, because it'll be legitimate frustration.
Becomes a self
between games as well, frustration about how the past result was, and manifesting.
Jordan, Scott Bongwater giving Latrell a fullback clinic. As a Cows fan, where were these performances from the start of the year? And can we offload Hiku now? My 7-week-old moves better than he does. Also, good to watch Walker descending into the red mist rage. Ryan, the Bunnies are better than this. They played like a bunch of useless cunts. If I was colourblind, I'd swear I was watching the Tigers. Fucking drive-bys. Love them. Terry, we live in a world where people still say Cody Walker is New South Wales saviour, when Salmon and Cogger competed better against this Townsend Dearden pairing. That's a damning review there.
Finally, the Raiders 20 defeat the Roosters 18 at Allianz Stadium. The Raiders 20 tries to Whiten, Hopawate and Timoko. 2 conversions to Teary Eyes, 2 penalty goals. And the Roosters 18 double to Joey Manu, a try to Lindsay Collins, and 3 conversions to Sandon Smith.
The Raiders, solid win. Teary Eyes, the way he's breaking into the clear more quite often over the last several weeks, he's whatever Kool-Aid he's on heading into, and since he's come through the 300 game mark, it's an added dimension to the Raiders. I thought those days were behind him, but the Roosters, though, really, the way they're struggling at the moment is a massive story, and the media's starting to pile on Teddy, and I just, there's question marks around Keary. There's, their forward pack isn't what you've come to expect from the Roosters over the last however many years under Robinson. So I think the Roosters are in a world of hurt, and the Raiders, in contrast, are just moving along nicely. They're, again, get through the origin period, everyone's healthy, and they can put their best foot forward on, those forwards are a key. They've got the quick outside backs, and I think the halves combination with Whiten and Fogarty is, they're going to give it a reasonable shake, the Raiders, as much as it pains me to admit it.
There you go.
I'm not sure that their style of football has the capacity to win a premiership in this day and age. I don't think that the slower, less mobile style of football that the Raiders play, especially in the middle third of the field, makes them a legitimate threat to the Melbournes and the Penriths and those guys.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think it beats Souths. I think it beats Cronulla. I think, at their absolute best.
Yeah, their ceiling is better than Cronulla's floor and South's floor. But, yeah, again, like finals times are a different kettle of fish.
Sure.
And yet again, we have no fucking socials because who cares?
Yeah, standard from Canberra fans.
Casual. This is the most casual shit. I love it.
Yeah, why not? Why not, Glennie?
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Let's live,
What
baby.
are people going to do? They're not going to complain. People wouldn't complain.
Glennie, this disease I have wiped out hundreds of millions of people worldwide, and all it's cost you is a couple of socials.
I know. I'm here for it.
Oh.
I think it's an absolute, it's a testament to the type of human being you are that you're here. People were just dropping off the perch left, right, and centre, and you're recording a podcast because it's just the kind of person you are.
They had him in the bed with the fucking tube down his throat, ventilating him, and he just pulled it out and said, "No, I need to be able to speak."
Yeah,
that's it.
I need to have my fucking one-on-one time with the big diesel.
Nathan Cleary did not do fucking TikTok dances in isolation, so I could lie in a fucking bed. That's the round.
Okay, so now let's look at some of the biggest stories of the week. I guess I actually didn't have the Holbrook one, but because it felt like it was a fucking month ago. But Justin Holbrook sacked unceremoniously by the Titans, and that little fucking snake in the grass, Desi Hasler, that man, he lives and operates in the fucking shadows like no one else. How many times have you seen a coaching story where a coach is fired and a new coach is installed when not a single fucking journalist has a fucking clue about it? None. There's no insiders or no club people that leak things so that, we're hearing whispers of something happening. There was absolutely fucking nothing. There wasn't even any Holbrook's in trouble. I mean, he was one of the coaches where, people were kind of like, yeah, could go. But they fucking won last week.
Yeah.
And he goes to come, and then you find out that 10 days of secret negotiations with Desi had taken place with not many Titans people and just Desi. Some of their hangers on who were banking paychecks like Mal Meninga was completely kept in the dark.
Yep.
obviously because they know being a media guy, he's going to fucking open his gob and perhaps ruin it.
Yep.
And so there they snuck it, and then they just announced it. He rocks up. Holbrook rocks up to work at 9:30. You're fired. And then they announced by 10 o'clock they're announcing, oh yeah, Desi signed on as a coach. So
is Des Hasler his own manager?
I don't think so.
Oh fuck, because that makes it even more impressive.
Yeah.
Like
he's got one of the guys. I don't know. I can't remember if it's Gavin or it's like one of those sorts of guys. Is like one of the bigger name guys.
Our good friend at Strive excluded, to have one of those cunts in there as well and not have it leak in the media.
Yeah,
that's another level of impressive.
Also, I think what that tells is that the Titans didn't have anyone else bidding for the position, and they're in such a desperate state to see success that Desi's, whoever approached whoever, it'll come out later, I'm sure. He's said, okay, this is the price, and they've said yes. And nothing has had to been played off against anybody or anything like that. And they've just come, because he's getting $1 million a year from the Titans.
Wow.
Which is fucking incredible considering the last time he did anything. I mean, like, we had the Asterisk, finals year, top 4 year in 2021 or whatever it was. Other than that, I mean, it's a long time since that fucking grand final, the second grand final with the Doggies. It's going to be a decade by the time he starts at the Titans.
Yeah.
So, like, I feel like that the game has probably passed him by the way he does things, but maybe all the Titans need, maybe they feel like they've just got all these pieces and they just need a guy in there who's just an attention to detail, minutia guy that can just get some of the rougher edges knocked off and, just tighten up everything, and then they just can rely on there.
We all know his greatest strength is his ability to create an us and them, and bring a group together in that regard. And I think the Titans, I don't hate that for the Titans. They've been a little bit nice guy-y, if you know what I mean, a bit wishy-washy. I think, having a squad with that amount of talent in it, then galvanised and really playing for one another. I think Des, if he brings nothing else, I think he brings that.
They lack fucking purpose. The Gold Coast Titans lack any sort of purpose or any sort of individual goals.
Haven't had purpose. They haven't had purpose since fucking Brent Todd was playing for the Gold Coast franchise of the day back then. Right. You remember that press conference, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the greatest presser of all time.
All the Sheilas.
I mean, that guy had a purpose. I mean, he wanted to root all the Sheilas.
But it's not even. Do you remember the last good season that the Dragons had? Was the season? No. It was the season before half their squad. No, the good half a season, I should say. It was the half of the season before Vaughan and fucking
before they made the Origin side.
Yeah. They had a purpose. They were playing out of their fucking skin. They were the premier forward pack in the competition. All of a sudden, they played Origin. Their purpose was gone, and they just fell off at the end of the season. Absolutely fucking useless. So if Desi can put a purpose into that side, they've got the talent there. He'll be an improvement.
Yep. Next, let's see. Dylan Brown today. Remains to see what happens in terms of NRL time for him. He's already in the midst of a 4-week stand down. But today, he pled guilty to 2 counts of touching a woman's breasts without her consent at the Golden Sheaf Hotel in Double Bay on the 3rd of June. The stand-down rule no longer applies, but we don't know what's going to happen if the NRL or if the club are going to impose some sort of penalty on him because...
Can I just put out there, all the people losing their fucking mind over the stand-down rule not applying? The stand-down rule is designed to only apply before sentencing.
Yeah.
And so he has now been sentenced.
Yep.
And so he is not accused of a crime. He is not to stand trial for a crime that carries the maximum penalty required for the no fault stand down to apply.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that's fucking happened here. It's not that he's off scot free and hey, here's your jersey, come back. It's that the no fault stand down policy doesn't apply after sentencing.
Yeah, and I mean, there's obviously a plea deal has come into play here. He was charged with 5 counts. He pled guilty to 2 of the counts. and part of that plea deal was no doubt, no custodial sentence, but at the same time, in chatting to our resident Popo, he said that literally nobody ever goes to jail for sexual touching charges, ever. So, while the theoretical, maximum there was like 8 years or something, which, triggered into the stand down, or at least it triggered into stand down as well because they, can exercise discretion in terms of crimes against females. He wasn't going to get the time. And so now it just comes down to the fact that because it was like, a sexual based crime against a woman, and it's a terrible look, whether the NRL is going to impose any extra time. But I think that there's a very good chance that they might just be like, listen, he's done 4 weeks already.
Yep.
And maybe he might get another 1 or 2 on top of that. But maybe they say, okay, it's 6, but you've done 4 or something like that. But at this stage that we're recording, there's nothing from the club or the NRL themselves. But he won't be eligible for selection until he receives clearance from the NRL. And now, fans of other clubs, if you're going to Parramatta games and you wanted to keep using the Dylan Brown's a sex offender chant, he pled guilty to it. You may.
That's it.
Sing with a full voice and a joyful heart. You can use it forever. Ben Hunt. So through the week we had a situation there where it was said that Benny Hunt could be heading to the Broncos to pinch hit into a pylon squad for the end of the season to try and boost their chances of winning the title. And certainly bolstering one of the only sort of consistent weak areas that they have in the club. Benny Hunt, as Glennie was talking about earlier, said he wanted to leave, pay his way out of the club if he needed to. Because the thing is, he's still got 2 years after this. He's got the rest of this season and 2 years. He only just extended at the end of last year. So the talk was he was, favoured to end up at the Titans.
Yep.
But for the rest of this year, could perhaps do like a Tavita Pangai Jr. and pinch hit at the Broncos for the rest of their campaign. The Dragons, of course, having him under contract, had every right to stand firm and say no.
Yep. And
that's what they did. And it's certainly killed the Broncos thing for the rest of the year. Well, I'm not going to say killed because as I look at what is the date today, look, I'm not going to say it's killed until Friday or till Saturday until it's after June 30, but it seems to be pretty much dead. And so I think that what will happen is, the Dragons will try and regather and think about assets that they could perhaps get from the Titans to bolster them to make some sort of a trade or release, feasible.
Yep.
But at this stage, Ben Hunt is stuck in the prison of his own creation, really. I mean, he did resign just fucking 6 months ago.
It's interesting because remember, am I remembering the timeline correctly that they re-signed Hook before Hunt?
I don't remember what the deal with Hook was. I think they push him out for a longer contract, like at a weird time, like a couple of rounds into the season or something last year.
Yeah, okay.
Because remember when Benny Hunt said that he was a chance of winning the Dally M,
yeah,
and he hadn't signed at that point.
But there was Ben Hunt obviously liked Hook.
Yes.
And it's just interesting that he would sign on at the end of last year without having some sort of clause in there that if the coach has changed, then I can leave.
Yeah.
He would have understood
it seems like a no-brainer. It seems like a no-brainer given the way he's reacted. And even before Hook went, remember, he was sort of saying like...
Yeah, if he goes,
I wouldn't support it.
Yeah.
So...
And he fully should have understood that in negotiations with that club, he could have asked for their fucking firstborn daughters, on their 18th birthday to be presented to him.
Yep.
Along with their wives and mothers.
Really?
Well, just you go the trifecta. If you're going to humiliate the Dragons board, you'd go the trifecta.
Or you just keep running out in that jersey every week. That's humiliating enough.
God. Yeah, it's a strange one to me that he would sign on, understanding or just having some assurances from the club going, oh yeah, nah, Hook's fine. He'll be sweet. He'll be sweet. He'll be here. But then for the club to not think that would backfire on them. Yeah, he'll be
but
sweet.
then also Flanagan rings him and says, look, I'm looking at taking this job on, but I don't want to take it on if you're not going to be there. No, I'm sweet. I'm here. Give him the job. He's like, yeah, I want out now. Fucking hell. What a pack of cunts. They deserve it.
All round. That's it.
Yep. Okay. So anyway, I guess we're going to see Ben Hunt with that miserable fucking look on his face like he had at the end of that game the other night on Friday or whatever it was against the Warriors when they nearly got a 50 burger on him. And the big one, Glennie is in an absolute fucking state as Brooksy. His club's most senior and best player has left the club to take up a contract for half the amount of money to leave the West Tigers after all this time. And he already informed them that he wasn't going to stay no matter how much they wanted to re-sign him. But now we all assume, maybe England, maybe the Cowboys.
He rejected
Chad
their
sucks.
offer. He rejected their fucking offer.
He did.
So
that's exactly what he said. He rejected their fucking.
No matter how much
he rejected their fucking offer. Yeah, that's right.
It's not the same thing. You imbecile.
What are you talking about? He said he was going to leave. You rejected their fucking offer.
No,
potato. You say tomato. Fucking.
You've got yourself a potato.
I know, Glennie. I know I do. But I still love him. I call him the Big Diesel. I pump him fucking up.
Can I just say, sitting here watching the two of you argue about a used fucking sex doll brings me so much fucking
I'll tell
joy.
You, I'm very happy with this deal. Would there be a financial point where I wouldn't be? Fuck yeah. 1.15 million a year or whatever the fuck he was getting for the last little while from you guys. In my opinion, too much money. But we've often said the problem with Brooksy is he's been paid a fortune.
Yep.
Which is not his fault or anything. I mean, the club's paying him that money.
He's been offered.
Get what you can. Your careers are short. But as a result, he's had to be the man in that club for a decade, and he's had to be the man in a club and do it his fucking self. And the pieces they put around him, the best piece they had around him in fucking half a decade was Jackson Hastings. Before that, had Mitch Moses, who was a little brat and had unrealised his potential. And then after that, he's had this fucking cavalcade of fucking park footballers like Brandon Wakeham, like Dewey, like fucking whoever else. I mean, Glennie, you're better equipped to speak about the revolving fucking door of 5/8 and shit that have gone through there in the time when Brooksy's been there. But now he's on a pressure-free salary for both himself and the club, and he doesn't have to do it all. Now he can just play his game. He can kick the ball. He can practice on he can do his running game.
Where's he going to play?
He doesn't have to. He's going to play on the left and 5/8. The left foot kicker naturally suits him to that side of the field.
So what are you doing, boxhead?
Fucking Funko Pop. Yeah. No, he's going to be in the back row.
Minecraft. He's got a head like a Minecraft character, Steve.
His ratio's all wrong. He's like a Funko Pop. But yeah, well, it also allowed Big Dick Mestrov to do a big dick move, where he basically said, he's like, we've signed Brooksy. He goes, so Schuster, you know what that means, right? You're going back into the back row where you played your best footy fucking in 2021. Here's the contract. Sign it or not. Go. Do what you're going to do. And basically gave, just put it on the table. Look, you can fucking go if you want to. But if you stay, this is where you're playing and this is what your future is. And whereas someone who had been in the media previously, like a year or two ago when Kieran Foran was at the club, saying like, oh, I was promised I was going to be 5/8, etc. How his tune has changed. And he says, okay. So it was, there's a lot going on behind the scenes in the Manly club at the moment, which all started around that Pride jersey thing. And there's been some problem manager identified, and there has been a concerted effort to reduce the influence that manager has at the club, and that process is almost complete. And as you know, change is hard. Change can be painful, and you know you're going to lose some. Maybe some young guys out of it. But I think now the tide has sort of turned on it, and it's actually worked out pretty well, and it'll work out better for the club in the future.
I will say, I will commend Manly on obviously the Brooksy news was big, but lo and behold, they're like, oh look, we've got Tommy Talau, we've got Jackson Paulo, we've got fucking Brooksy, all in the fucking space of 24 hours.
Yeah, and like we knew, and like Tommy Talau, we knew that. I mean, like that was said. He was said to have been signed weeks ago, but maybe they hadn't actually finished it. They disagree. I mean, like we kind of knew that was happening, but the Jackson Paulo one completely out of the fucking blue. Had absolutely zero idea that was coming.
Can play.
And what and the things that Siebes was saying was like the performances of some players in some positions, they're just not good enough. And so what we need to create competition for spots to bring the best out of everyone. And a guy like Jackson Paulo is fucking sorely needed to sort of rustle up, you know, the wingers, you know, and the centers. I mean, it seems like before Tommy's injury, it seems like we'd found the center combination with Kohler over on the left and Garrick on the right. But the wingers, like Saab seems to be a guy that you'd put there. He tends to be playing, you know, well most of the time. But, you know, then you've got Tuipulotu, who should be good enough but isn't. And then you've got a bunch of guys the next rung down from that, like, you know, like Vega, who, you know, who don't know are they good enough. But at the end of the day, someone like Paolo comes in and we can chuck him in there. Talau, I think he's going to play a lot of Blacktown unless there's injuries. But that's fine too. I mean, you want people in there to create competitions for spots, because at the moment, when you've got guys like Morgan Harper and stuff, and they just like automatically de facto they're the guys that are in when stuff happens. That's not competition for spots, because you don't want Morgan Harper to be the guy who just automatically gets a spot when something happens, you know. So pretty happy so far. I mean, I still their plans for hooker next year, I'm behind for now, but you know, there are more potatoes going at the end of the season, thank God, and they're going to have to replace them. If nothing, for no other reason than just squad depth and stuff. So I'm interested to see who else they sign. But and with Schuster, I mean, he has the potential to make a lot of money. The figures reported in the media aren't exactly correct. What those figures are, they represent what he stands to make if he meets all these KPIs that are attached to his contract. And I mean, that money would make him one of the top 3 highest paid back rowers in the game. But to reach that figure as well, he has to meet KPIs that means he's playing like the top 3 back rower in the game as well. So, you know, which is fine.
How have they done that?
Basically, it's just bonuses and KPIs. I mean, you've got to allow for it to happen in your cap.
Yeah, okay.
You've got to be prepared for it to happen. But yeah, I mean, like I think his base is around 650, something like that, and so he can stand to make another 150 or something, you know, via. And I don't know what the KPIs are. I just know there are KPIs and bonuses attached to it. And like one of them is like a number of games played, because as we saw earlier this season, you know, trouble staying on the field.
Yep. Which is fine for him, but it doesn't give them any advantage anywhere else if they've got to account for that in their cap.
Yeah,
it's a shrewd move. But
it's something that I've kind of been saving until we, you know, get another chat with fucking Redpath at the end of the year on an RC agent, because that's a question that I have.
Yeah.
But
why don't you just ring him up and ask him? He's doing fuck all else.
Mate, I'm chatting to him every day about players. Yeah, who's going where? What's going on? Who manages this guy? Who manages this cunt? And he's got a great story that we can't tell. Unfortunately, it's not for the show, but it's one that you're going to fucking love, mate. You're going to love it. I'll let him tell you off air though. But yeah, it's very close to your heart. But yeah, look, I have been a massive proponent and fan, an aficionado, a connoisseur, if you will, of fucking Brooksy pumping those little legs. I love to see it. Patrons who listen to the membersodes, they know I love to fucking see it. They know that I'm on Brooksy more than Glennie has ever been.
That is true.
And that's when he came up with the fucking Run TMB shirt. I mean, I have been a big supporter of Brooksy, and I've said that it's a toxic situation at the Tigers and a change. Back when we thought it could have been Newcastle like a season or two ago. Yep. A change is exactly what he needs. Now, not only has he got to change, he doesn't have to fucking sit outside Kalen Ponga or whoever the fuck Knights were going to give him. He gets to sit outside the fucking Queensland captain and fucking Origin winning halfback. None of the responsibility, and Brooksy, for the first time in his career, we can truly say that he has been unleashed.
And in all seriousness, the bar for him is pretty fucking low. So now, because he's taken a pay cut,
a $650 fucking half is like, man, and with Daly taking his team-friendly pay cut next year as well, we got a 500 game combination for about 1.3, 1.4 million, which is fucking unheard of.
Which unfortunately it's all eaten up by the biscuit you have with the number 1 jersey sitting on the sidelines.
He'll be taking a team-friendly cut too, believe me.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's a good move by Brooksy. It's almost no lose for him.
Yep.
Look, I've said on the show that the best thing for him is a change. He could have gone anywhere else, I'll be honest with you. I would have been happy for him to go anywhere but fucking Manly, so I don't have to listen to this absolute fucking tripe. But here we are.
Glennie, you're looking at it all wrong, mate.
No, I'm not. I know he'll do well, and I think he'll benefit from playing with Daly and Tommy, and I think it'll be a great move for him. Fuck, don't know what the Tigers are going to do for half, but anyway.
Golden Nuts, it works for you too. Golden Nuts, I guarantee you Golden Nuts is going to be your halfback next year.
All right, I'll take it, just for the narrative.
Yeah, it works fucking this Brooksy thing to Manly, it keeps it in the fucking TWiL, it keeps it in the family.
Honestly, Glennie, look how
and then you got Golden Nuts coming back for the narrative.
Look how well your club's done getting anyone of any sort of talent to want to go to the club. I mean, they're fucking beating each other away with sticks to try and get
that is true. I agree with you.
The other thing is, I mean, you guys will probably get. The problem I was talking about with the manager, unfortunately, it's become your problem now over at the Tigers, and you'll probably get one of his players who I love, and was groomed to be the future the replacement for Daly. Unfortunately for you guys, though, I think because you're the West Tigers and because you need, I think you'll end up throwing him in there a year or two early. You'll probably start him as your fucking halfback next year, and
and you'll have to pay him the same money that Brooks was on.
You have to pay him the same money as Brooks is on, and also you'll fucking ruin him because there'll be no development. He has to just be there and be the man, and then the cycle starts again.
He won't know until game day if Sheenius is playing him at 7 or prop.
And so, potentially incredible player, but unfortunately, with this day and age, with potentially incredible players, once their manager gets into their head that they should be playing first grade after they've played a half a dozen games in Reggie's, and then another club's prepared to offer them that money and that role, then doesn't end well. But I wish him the best. Keep going to church. Go to the dances. Don't get your steak knife.
Sharpening those knives.
Yeah, take your steak knife.
Keep your skills sharp.
Take your steak knife, tuck your brother in. Right, next. That was basically the news stories we wanted to talk about, right? There was nothing else, was there?
Do we want to talk about Reece Walsh?
Oh, fucking, of course we fucking do. I knew I'd forgotten one.
Can I tell you, though, due to your mention that this is the story we were fucking born to cover.
Oh, a story that's full of fucking cunt.
Well, that's not so much a thing. I heard today, I was watching another podcast, there is a concerted effort on social media now.
Okay.
With a phrase that is serving cunt.
Yeah, okay, I have seen it, yes.
Right, so
I'm aware of the phrase.
It essentially, if you're out there being a fucking fierce, independent man or woman or whatever you are, then instead of saying, you slay or yes queen, now the kiddies are saying you're serving cunt.
So I would imagine Beyonce serves a lot of cunt.
Yes,
time.
that's it.
She's like the McDonald's of serving cunt, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
This is probably my most favourite episode ever. And
And
I still had to listen to you talk about Brooksy.
So, look, maybe Walsh was only trying to tell one of his other friends, keep serving cunt. That should have been the defence he went with, which would have been more fucking believable than what he actually fucking tried.
Yeah.
Should have been. Yes, he should have. But, he didn't. And the thing is, there was so much going on with that entire case and trial that was just fucking chef's kiss incredible. You had Paddy Carrigan giving evidence and the lawyer having to say to him, you know, you don't have to say F word and C word. You can say fucking cunt. No one's going to get offended. And then so Paddy Carrigan, he's off saying fucking cunt in his testimony. And then you got Dave Fafita going in there saying I saw when he said it to the referee, to Carrigan.
Oh no, the ref was behind him.
The ref. There were just so many. There were so many layers, and then
Honestly,
do you know truly a night where actually.
Every time I see David Fafita speak, I think of the fucking putting on the Ritz scene from Young Frankenstein. Sorry, continue.
But, a 4-hour trial. Social media, just cunts cracking jokes endlessly. It was one of the great nights. It took it back to the day before everyone was cunts to each other and when people got along talking about rugby league on Twitter. It was fantastic. Well, Broncos fans obviously didn't, they were crying like little bitches. But
do you know what I love, though? I love, so when this shit happens, right, fans of every other club turn into fucking expert comedians and fans of the fucking club that's getting nailed turn into fucking legal experts. There is not a fucking quicker pill to turn some dumb cunt into a bush lawyer than one of their players at the NRL judiciary. Oh, that's not fucking beyond a reasonable doubt. They start using all these fucking words that they've only ever seen in fucking Law and Order episodes. It is absolutely fucking hilarious, and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The NRL. Why they even? Yeah, they decided he was guilty before. Why would you? Why even have the hearing? And then you had the journos because he had an earring and he had some jewelry or something. Peter Bedell's going, oh, he turned up looking like Justin Bieber and.
Really?
He looked like he worked in a bank.
Oh.
Blue shirt, navy or grey suit. What do you want from him?
A banker at afters.
He's not getting married.
Untucked and everything. But yeah, you're wearing a suit.
Yeah.
Look, I think the penalty was fine. I mean, we had this exact same discussion earlier in the season when Josh Reynolds got sprayed by the referee on the way off at half time in a game.
Yeah.
Because he'd gone off it and said so. You two both coach kids sport and descent towards fucking officials.
Man, can I tell you, over the last couple of weeks, we have played some fucking shit kids. Shit kids. And in our sport, there is a shortage of referees, just as there is in a lot of sports, I think.
Yep.
And they try and do as best a job they can to have two referees on the court.
Mm-hmm.
One of them wears a colour shirt to dictate a bit of experience, and the other one wears a coloured shirt to dictate I'm just learning.
Yep.
But the amount of fucking... And you can tell after 3 seconds looking at the coach what the players are going to be like. But the attitude that the kids... There is not once that I have seen a good quality coach or a mature coach with shit cunt kids on their team.
Right.
It is directly related to how... And this is an adult. All of the coaches are parents or adults, and all of the refs are fucking teenagers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's fucked in junior sport the way that refs are treated. Absolutely fucked.
Yeah. And and part of the thing that influences children into that kind of behaviour, if they're seeing the fucking guys they idolise doing that shit.
Yeah, 100%. Now, this is the thing. I go so far as to put it out there, and I put it as one of our rules for our club, for both teams, at the beginning of the season. The minute you whinge to me about a referee, I will bench you.
Mm-hmm.
Because that says to me that you're weak in the head.
Unaccountable and...
And I guarantee you there will not be a stage where you whinge at the ref for making one mistake that you haven't made 3 or 4. And no one's whinging it. We don't bitch about mistakes in our team when we make them.
Yep.
So that's the culture we try and drive. But yeah, it's pretty fucking poor to even have. Well, hang on. Oh no, I didn't say it to him. I was talking to a mate.
Yeah, no, not a mate. He's captain.
Yeah,
it's still fucked.
Yeah.
Apparently Corey Parker did it back in the day to Webke, and Webke fucking put his teeth down his throat.
Mm.
Yeah, true. Well,
yeah.
There's that fucking famous spray from Alan Border to Craig McDermott.
Yeah.
Where he's told him something and then walked off, and McDermott's muttered something under his breath, and Border's turned around and walked back to him. What did you say? And he's like, nothing. He goes, yeah, I fucking thought so.
So yeah, fucking COVID has put the cricket into him, hasn't it?
Oh, fucking just about to say.
Second cricket reference in the show.
He did. All of a sudden he gets COVID, and it's like he's got Richie Benauvid.
I like that better. Let me write that down. But the thing with okay, you take it all into totality. So you've got a 4-hour thing that's like the absolute focus of the media on a Tuesday night, focus of social media, everybody around the game. It goes for 4 hours, drags on for fucking ages. What comes out of it is just fuck, cunt, fuck, cunt, fuck, cunt, fuck. And then, saying fuck cunt to the referee, fuck cunt to his captain, whatever, and he's telling him to fucking slow his fucking brain down. Would it not have been better if Reece Walsh just pled guilty, wore a tie as well as his suit, not to give these cunts any fucking excuses, and get someone to help him write a statement that says something along the lines of, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said what I said to the referee. Our officials are the fucking blah blah of the game, and they need to be respected. I understand that as a role model for blah blah, I need to be, conduct myself more professionally on the field.
Yep.
And I'll endeavour to do so in the future. I apologise, and I submit myself to the punishment that the judiciary deems appropriate.
Yep.
And I'll undertake that this never happens again.
Yep.
There's no case. There's no judiciary thing that drags on for hours and hours. There's no fucking Fafita embarrassing himself by trying to give evidence but fucking stepping in it. There's no situation with Paddy Carrigan where it's pretty clear they fucking went over what the sequence of events should be in a training, and they couldn't quite get it right though.
The whole fucking thing, that side of things, was a farce.
All could have been avoided.
Yeah, you're right.
If he was just accountable.
Yeah, exactly. So really, that's was it the crime of century? No, of course it wasn't. But cop it, man.
I'm not a massive, players should always be role models or whatever, but accountability, and Jay, you spoke about culture in your kids' teams, and it's very much something, it's a value, I try and, instill in my boys, but also, in the teams that, in the basketball team I'm coaching as well, is accountability for your actions. You're not going to get it right all the time, but when you do get it wrong, put your hand up.
Yeah. And I agree with what you said about being role models all the time, but on the field, yeah.
Well, I remember
that's the reason they're even in a position. Sorry, Jay. To be considered a role model is what they're doing on the field, and if that's because of their God-given talents and remarkable ability, that's great. But it doesn't begin and end there. It's how they interact with referees is most certainly part of it, and it's very clear. Like, what are you trying to achieve by trotting out some story that is clearly bullshit? You clearly were talking to the referee.
But you contrast that. Would you remember James Graham? The one time he was pinged for being aggressive to the referees? Every fucking time he approached a referee for the rest of his career, he put his hands behind his back, and it was sir. Or, I don't know if there are any female officials in his day, but it was always sir. And he went, well, you know what? Whether I believe I did that or not, I was pinged for it. And so now I will make a conscious effort to never do that again and to go so far the other way. He
was judged by his peers or the authority of the game to have done something to have brought the game into disrepute or contrary conduct or however. And he addressed it like a fucking grown ass man should.
Yeah,
I saw a Broncos fan last night saying something along the lines of, "Oh, they can't fucking rule on a forward pass, but they can tell where if he's looking at the referee or not." So the gaze, so the video replay did show conclusively that the gaze did travel backwards out of his eyes and then but it drifted forward towards the referee.
His words went back and to the left, back and to the left.
Oh, fucking hell!
The magic cut.
Right, round 18 coming right up, and just the one bye this weekend with the Eels. The first game Thursday night, Sharks take on the Dragons at Reclaim Australia Stadium. Sharky side unchanged from last week. The Dragon side, Sully's out, Jack Bird is out, Zane Musgrove is out. In comes Moga to the centres, Couchman to the bench, and Jaden Hunt to the bench. Murdoch Masilla moves from bench to second row.
Sharks by plenty. Dragons won't win another game this season.
Oof. Yeah, no, you can't go.
Sharks playing a team outside the 8, guaranteed dub. It's as simple as that. It's fucking science. The Warriors take on the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and this one is taking place over in New Zealand, Penrose. The Warriors side lose Martin Ukore, Mitchell Barnett comes in, and Curran goes from bench to second row. Or does something happen to him, because he also got fucking done this week, finally, from an incident at Port Macquarie where he headbutted a kid at a nightclub or something.
Jesus.
And so, yeah, I'm not sure if that affects his employment or his attendance at this game, but I guess we'll find out. The Rabbitohs side, they lose host Cartwright and Mamuzelos. Cheekham, Havili, and Shaq Mitchell come in.
I'm not impressed with South at the moment, and I'm most certainly impressed with the Warriors. They're at home, and the Warriors will win.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I think the Warriors. If you had have asked me this a month ago, I would have said Souths without even thinking about it. But they're in fucking trouble, and I don't know if I can really tip them against a side that's travelling well. At least until we see Latrell back in the lineup.
Sure.
Yeah, correct.
They seem to be incapable of fucking defending at the moment. So, yeah, I'm with you. Warriors, wholeheartedly. They should be heavy favourites. Storms take on the Panthers. Down in Melbourne. And Marvel Stadium, that's the big one there. It used to be Etihad, right?
Yep.
The Storms. Why are they playing there and not the other one?
I don't know. Is Taylor Swift having a concert at the other one or something?
No, they're not until February.
Oh, okay.
Don't even fucking say that name to me. I fucking I hear when I hear that name now, I hear Taylor Swift singing "Fortunate Son," and I just drift off to 1,000-yard stare. The Storms, Peasant's out for Munster, obviously. Penne is out, and Tyron Wishart as well. Kami Kamika returns. Caden Bradley goes to the bench. The Panthers side. Regrettably, they lose their hero of last week. Tyron Peachy's out. Jenkins, Hosking, Isaac and Garner also out. Dumped after fucking single-handedly carrying them to victory. Crichton's back, Toto's back, Luai's back, Martin's back, Yo's back, and Salmon moves to the bench from his temporary position of 5/8.
Storm at home is tough to tip against. Well, Storm in
at
Melbourne,
home,
sorry.
hometown, yeah.
Tough to tip against, but I don't know. I just feel like this is probably the time where Penrith, kick it up a gear.
Yeah, it's going to need for the guys to come back from Origin and look at what the reserves have done while they've been away, and not just think that they slide back into their spots and yep, we're going to cruise and we're great, we're rep players, let's get back in. This is where they need to knuckle down, and it's quite fucking obvious that the hardest part of not only a premiership but back-to-backs and fuck me a three-peat is the motivation. Like this time of the season, post-Origin, your body's fucking destroyed. You got to find that reason. So if they can come back, this is a great test for them to really start the momentum for their charge towards the end of the year.
The biggest test here is in the Panthers forgetting the fucking things that Brad Fittler put in their heads.
Correct.
And remembering, restocking their brains with the stuff that wins football games.
That's it. It will take a lot for them to not freak out when they see Mitch Kenny in the middle of the field and not playing next to a winger.
Left centre.
Where Freddie plays fucking hookers. So, Penrith 13 plus, put your house on it.
Oh,
I don't know about that, but I think Panthers are going to win.
Penrith in close.
Impressed by Storm.
Penrith in close one.
The Raiders take on the Gold Coast in Canberra. Papali's out. Mariota comes in. Solo goes bench to the front row. The Titans side. Isaac Fasul-Mala'awi is out. Tino Fasul-Mala'awi comes in. And Jamin Jolloff moves to the bench from the front row.
Raiders at home. Titans were good last week. I think I'm leaning towards the Raiders purely they're at home. It's that time of year. Titans don't typically go that well away from home unless they're playing the Tigers. I think the Raiders will win.
Yeah, I think you have to go with the Raiders, and this has the potential to be one of those sort of high-scoring games.
Yep.
But I just feel like the Raiders offer more in defence.
Yeah.
Which A helps minimise somewhat what the Titans put on them, but I think that they'll be able to score. Have no trouble scoring points against the Titans as well.
Yep.
But who knows? Maybe his name escapes me. The deputy who's currently handling the Titans coaching position until Desi comes in next year. But he got him up last week.
Certainly did.
Well and truly. So, who knows? The Cowboys take on the Tigers in North Queensland. This is one of those traditional games for Glennie. The Cowboys side, Granville goes from lock to the bench. Cotto goes from bench to lock. The Tigers side, okay, so Seafarth is out. Dane Laurie comes in to 5/8.
Unleashed.
Stefano comes into the front row, back from Origin duties. Capolo goes to the bench. Star-Lord goes back to centre. And your mate Pole goes to the bench. Dane Laurie and Brandon Wakeham halves combination. Talk me through it, Glennie. What do you expect? Have you been watching Dano go around for the Reggies?
Have been keeping a bit of an eye on him. Overall, I think they've been giving him plenty of time at 6 in Reggie's, and he's given a good account of himself. It's obvious step, stepping up into the NRL, but there's no better time to play your first game of 5/8 at NRL level against a team that you always beat. A team that
you're saying they're giving him a start on easy mode.
Yeah, I think that's shrewd coaching from Sheens and Benji, and look, it's a guaranteed win. Why not fucking let him trot out there?
Yep. Just get comfortable, you're saying? Yeah.
Just go through the motions, mate. It's not going to matter. It doesn't matter what we do. We're going to win. We always beat the Cowboys. That's what we do.
Could be your halves combination for the next 2 years.
I don't know about that, but...
Can you imagine, though?
Oh, no, I don't want to imagine it.
You'd be yearning for the fucking years of Tigers in decline.
Oh, fuck.
You were in decline when you had Moses and Brooksy.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. Look, I don't see any way that the Cowboys can overcome the massacre of Leichhardt Oval not 4 to 5 weeks ago or whatever it was, and we destroyed them as a club. We destroyed their soul, never to be seen or heard from again. And I expect that domination to continue in this game, and I think the Tigers will win 13 plus. So,
do you think you'll pass 50 again?
I think that's a foregone conclusion, Nathan. If I'm being brutally honest with you, and as I always am. 50. If we don't hit 50, it'll be considered a fucking loss. So that's that.
All right.
Fuck the Cowboys. We own them. We always beat them.
I think they might just pip you this time.
Yeah.
The motivation that comes from losing by 60 the time before. I think they might just come back and pip you by probably 26 to 30 points.
I just can't believe that you've hosted a podcast for 14 years of your life and clearly know nothing about the game. You're an absolute fraud.
Your best player, Luke Brooks, and your second best player, Appy, aren't in the side at the moment. It gives me concerns.
Yeah, you're welcome to your concerns, Nathan.
About your ability to score points.
While listening to Glennie dribble there, I've just done a quick fucking ladder predictor right through to the
I thought you say you listened to him dribble for so long that you fucking just tested negative for COVID.
He's listened to me dribble that long. He's watched a full 5-day test match.
and fuck me, like obviously on your ladder predictor the for and against doesn't really change.
Yeah.
And some blowouts soon.
Unless you're a real fucking nerd.
No, but fuck me, right up to the death, there are going to be some things where winning or losing a game can be the difference between 5th and 12th.
Yeah, it's very compressed this season.
This is fucking great. The end of this season is going to be all time. However, I do have your top 8 in order. If anyone would like to write this down, maybe gamble on it with money that you can't afford to lose. This is a sure thing. Storm, Panthers, Warriors, Rabbits, Eels, Sharks, Raiders. Oh, hang on. Storm, Panthers, Warriors, Rabbits, Eels, Sharks, Raiders, Broncos.
Oh, Broncos. So that means the Broncos are a good chance of dropping out, actually.
Just exactly what the top 8 is right now, just in a slightly varied order.
Right.
Dragon.
This is early in the season for the ladder predictor, isn't it? They didn't come out this early last year, did they?
I'll tell you, I got some fucking time to kill over the next week.
All right. Another local derby for the Broncos. They take on the Dolphins at the Gabba. Just in time for fucking Stepdad's newly formed love of cricket.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I want some KCS chicken and a round fucking ground.
I tell you, if you go into this game, if you're in Brisbane or you're going to be in Brisbane and you go into this game, get yourself to fucking KCS chicken. It's just across from the Aussie Nash there on whatever it's Stanley Street. Fucking get there.
Google it, cunts.
Have the finest fucking Korean fried chicken you can get in the city of Brisbane, if not the fucking world, and enjoy yourself. Get the kimchi cheese fries. Highly recommended.
Yeah, fuck yeah. They are the gun fries.
The Broncos, they lose Flegler. They lose Jordan Ricky. In comes Keenan Palacia. In comes Xavier Willison. The Dolphins, okay, so Braden McGrady is out. Harrison Graham is out. Returning, Tessie New. Returning, Jeremy Marshall-King. Cody Nikorima goes from 5'8" to the bench. Katoa goes halfback to 5'8", and Sean O'Sullivan, hooker to halfback. The side is starting to look a little bit more how it looked when they were really pumping in the first sort of half dozen rounds of the season. And it's a big game for them. You'll remember the last time they played the Broncos, they were in it up to the end and they were killed by an interception or a scoop up off a kick that was returned to the house to put the result beyond doubt as the final siren went off. So it was a spicy and hotly contested game last time. I imagine it will be this time as well, just given the proximity and the geographic rivalry.
Why are they playing
Can
at
the
the Gala?
Because
Taylor Swift.
reasons. No, they're doing something. Are they doing something at Suncorp? Was it double booking like Women's Soccer World Cup or some shit?
Playing cricket.
Yeah, that's probably it. The World Cup's on, isn't it?
Yeah, there was something happening that the Suncorp was booked for, and and they didn't put those variables into the fucking computer that calculates the draw. So instead of the Broncos playing away against someone that weekend, instead they moved to the Gabba.
There you go.
So no Walsh either, yeah?
Nope. He got a couple, didn't he?
Three,
and strangely, Carrigan's playing though, and isn't he going to fucking love hip dropping cunts onto the fucking pitch in the middle? He's going to literally fracture hips, snap legs, fucking obliterate ankles.
I'm going to tip the Dolphins. I think they turn it around, and as I said,
call.
It is.
This one, I think, is a test of the Broncos' back against the wall credentials. You know, if they can get some of that Des Hasler, we're the fucking victim mentality, then they'll come out and really, really put a big team effort on the Dolphins. However, there is the capacity, if they come out and turn into a whole bunch of fucking Cody Walkers, that the Dolphins could put some fucking points on them. They've got points in them.
They shouldn't have lost that game last week. And the next 3 games for the Broncos, it's Dolphins, bye, and then Doggies, I think.
Yeah.
And so I've got them going 0-3 in that period.
Oof.
And which precipitates their slide out of the 8. And once they get that slide mentality into their head again, thinking what happened last year and just how spectacular it was, like how improbable and how mathematically improbable it actually was, and they managed to achieve it.
Yep.
They get that in their head, and then they have to play some decent sides as well. Not too many decent sides. They have a very soft draw going through to the finish.
They do.
But a slide out of the 8 this year might actually fold them as a club.
Wow.
Lovely.
Just through embarrassment.
There you go.
News Limited will just be like, oh, fucking, why are we bothering? Honestly, the Dolphins have got their territory covered. Let's try them in Perth. Broncos to Perth. I think the Broncos will win. I mean, did the Dolphins turn the corner at halftime in that last game? Was that just enough floggings for them? And Wayne, said what he needed to say. Did the Eels just back off the fucking gas too? That's the other, more likely possibility there.
Yeah, true.
But fuck me, if they can't get up for a game against the Broncos, considering how spicy it was last time.
Yeah.
And last time Tessie New got injured real early as well, and there was a lot of things that went against them. So, I mean, this is their chance. No Gilbert, and I mean, he was probably one of their big. That's the game when he really started to stand up for them. But look, I just for the Dolphins, I just want to see an improved performance and not concede 50 points. To be honest, but I think the Broncos will get them. Next, we have the Doggies taking on the Knights at Accor Stadium. The Doggies side, Braden Burns is out, Oluwapu is out, Flanagan's out, Patolo, Corey Waddell out. In comes the Fox, in comes Burton, Harrison Edwards, Ryan Sutton, and Jackson Topine comes in as well. Rajab goes from bench to 5/8, and Max King bench to front row. Knights, Gagai's out, Lucas is out, TWiL comes in to replace Gagai, and Fitzgibbon comes into the second row.
This is going to be a kind of a
Who
game.
fucking cares? Yeah. This is going to be tough.
It's going to be a tough watch. I'm going to tip the Knights.
You tip the Knights based on
the flip of a coin.
Yeah. It's just, I mean...
What are you looking at? Are you looking at the odds for this game? Because I don't know. I couldn't guess where they'd be.
Knights are $1.72, slight favourites over the Bulldogs, $2.12.
Yeah, okay. Sounds about right.
I looked through the Dogs' back line outside of the usual suspects of Addo-Carr and Burton. There's not much happening. And then sadly, you look through their forwards and there's not much happening outside of Pangai Jr., who's a myth, and obviously Reid Marnie.
Yeah.
Then you go to their bench where you would typically expect an injection of energy and go forward, and there's not much happening there either. So, fuck the Dogs. Knights in a tight one, but an absolute fucking crime against rugby league of a game is what I'm tipping.
A true Monday night football classic.
Yes.
On Sunday Arvo. Right. Finally, the mighty Manly Sea Eagles take on the Sydney Roosters at Brookvale Oval, or Brooksvale as it has become to be known, Glennie.
It's going to be the worst thing. The mighty Manly Seabs Eagles take on
straight out of Brooksvale
Oval. Fucking can't wait for next year.
Look, funnily enough,
me now.
Hype,
enough, must be Manly. We've seen the breaking news.
Now what?
That Roosters players saying Robbo's lost the dressing room.
Are you telling me?
Lost the shed.
Are you telling me that Manly have a chance to go back to their coach killing roots this weekend?
There you go.
Coach Killers! Fucking killing the cunts!
Okay, so Manly, they have to go back to their old centre combination. Obviously, Brad Parker is back in. Harper and Vanga are out. Kepi has been dropped for this game as well, as has Carl Norton and Ben Condon. So Sea's wheeling the axe a little bit for some of the poor defence. Saab returns from injury. Parker returns from injury. Tuolangi returns from injury. And Jakey Turbo, the big in, returns from injury, along with his brother Benny. Bullimore goes from second row to bench, where he'll be obviously apply his trade in the middle where he should be. And Woodsy back to the bench as well. The Roosters side. Palga is out, Butcher is out, Crichton is out. Swali'i comes in, Wong comes in for a debut, I believe, and Fletcher Baker comes in. Radley goes from lock to second row. Nathan Brown will start, and Nafu White goes to second row as well. Look, you got to fucking win, boys. That's all there is to it. I mean, both sides have their injury issues, both sides have their form issues. But man, the Roosters, remember this, they started this season as fucking, they were like the favourites with the bookies at the start of this season.
Yeah.
And we're not even through Origin yet.
Yeah.
And the state of them is something's not right. I mean, like, Kiri's shaky.
Well, that's because
they don't have it. They well, maybe so. I mean, they've got, they paid all this money out for Cheese, and he's not there at the moment, which has left them really, really light on in the hooker role as well. We've spoken about the fact that a lot of forwards that their bench forwards, years gone by have come on and had to be in the the starting forwards, and they're just not quite up to it. Yeah, look, I'm expecting a big win, and potentially, if we can crack 40, a killed coach.
Tight game with the bookies, but I think Manly will win a close game. It's not much splitting them in the betting. 12th place, 13th, and as you say, both teams struggling for form and with injury. So I think whoever scraps the hardest will win. And I think Manly's probably got a bit more scrappiness in them.
And the other thing about this game is I think that the Manly lineup is going to change, maybe not significantly, but there are going to be changes. It's funny, like the when you really start looking at the club's social media and you're watching, they put up all the photos of training now and stuff, and you see the guys training, and you can see the guys wearing the bib for the reserves, and the ones that are not, and then you look and you go, hang on a minute. Like Ben Travojevic, he's wearing the bib, like the reserve bib, and Jake Arthur, he's not wearing the bib. So there's going to be a late change where Jake Arthur comes into the onto the bench or something for Benny Turbo. There'll be change, and if that happens, then it could is it going to be a big change? Like looking forward to the future, and you're going to see someone like
Brooksy,
like Tuolangi drop to the bench, and you're going to see Schuster move into the back row, and then Arthur move into 5/8 or something. Like they're actually going to just start doing what they're going to do. Just, now, who knows? We'll see. I was confident of a big win until I saw that article saying that he'd fucking lost the dressing room, because I mean that sort of media shit is instantly like, that's just going to get them fucking rolled up and put in a better performance than they would have otherwise. So,
unless it's true.
Well, yeah, unless it's true. And I mean, coach's name Trent. There's not a lot splitting them. Just fucking, just the size of the cash in the paper bags is really the only difference. So, another coach killed. You'd love to see it. That's it, boys.
Done.
That is it for
we made it.
5:22.
Go.
Glennie's awake. Stepdad's alive. I'm awake.
Fucking winning all round.
Just energized. Brooksy being unleashed truly is an exciting time for rugby league.
We pumped our little legs all the way to 2 fucking hours just to be out of this shit. Absolute fucking tripe.
It would have been like an hour 50, but we had to include the fucking C-Grade Touch for the fans.
Which people love.
They love it.
People send us letters. Fucking give us more, Big Diesel, they say.
Yep, that's it. That is it.
Give us fucking toot, they said.
Yep, that's it. Have you got that stuff that you took care of that stuff? It's on the go.
Yes.
For the patrons, beautiful, and also there's not just for the patrons actually, because there's going to be stuff for everyone to grab. I'll activate the other part of the patron stuff, so they should be out in a month, I reckon. And thisweekinleague.com. All our links and communities are on there. Jump on in. That's it. Get well soon, Stepdad.
Or not.
Thanks, man.
Or not, as Glennie says.
Oh, fucking hell. Look, one of us is undefeated this season, Glennie. And I don't plan on being defeated by COVID. If other shit cunt kids on opposition teams haven't defeated me, there's no way the Pangolin's kiss is.
Yes. All right. So on that note, hey, when is your game this weekend, Glennie? Mine's late Sunday, so I mean that's a good slot for a membersode if you want to do one. Otherwise, when are you guys playing the Cowboys? People love the Tiger ones as well. So if that's at a suitable time slot, I'm happy to jump on with you.
Saturday 5:30. I reckon I can do that.
Ooh,
all right,
that's
fucking
potential.
done.
That might
Done.
work.
All right, let's look towards that.
Done.
Let's.
And otherwise, we'll see you guys next week.
Later.
See ya.